For those of you watching this as a recording, are you collecting sunshine right now? Because remember, this is the time of year to collect sunshine. The light from the sun is everything when it comes to your health. In fact, it's as important as the hydration levels and the food you eat and the sleep that you get. But sometimes we forget those simple things, rituals that we can put into our life that support our health. Sunshine is one of those. The first 2 hours, collecting that morning sunshine. Let's get to our topic today. And that is one of the most asked questions that I get. And it's, Kristen, how often do I soak? And my stomach drops every time I see this question because I want to answer it and give someone absolute specifics. You soak this often, but I can't. And so this live is going to be about guidelines for you to determine how often do I need to soak for my body. And I call it your magnesium burn rate. Did you realize the way that you breathe dictates how minerals move through your body? And stress management tools determine how minerals move through your body. So, how often you soak and how often I soak are going to be different. But first of all, the very first thing you need to do when you're determining your specific magnesium burn rate is, what are your goals with magnesium? What's your goal? My goal has stayed the same for the last 20 plus years, and that is to create and maintain magnesium cell saturation. With my magnesium red blood cell test, Shelley, if you'd link that test in the comments below, please, of where I like to have mine done. My magnesium red blood cell test coming back at 6.3 or above. And when it's at 6.3 or above, that means your interstitial space in between all of your cells in your body has enough magnesium to give your organs the magnesium they need, because your blood serum is only going to show where your body, it's so important to keep magnesium that your body will pull from your all your organs to keep your serum at 1% so that you're breathing. I want to do more than just breathe. I want to make sure that my organs have enough magnesium. And so that's why I do the magnesium red blood cell test. Most doctors, the majority, only run the serum, and they're two very different tests. Your body will pull from everywhere, your bones, everywhere, to keep your serum at 1%. And it does it very well. Very few people, unless they're at the very end of their life, have a low serum level. It's the magnesium red blood cell that portrays your interstitial spaces and tells you if your body has enough to pull for your organs. And so my goal is creating and maintaining. Your goal might be different. Some people do a spot treatment. I want to sleep better. I want to have more energy. I want my leg cramp to go away. And so determining your goal is going to determine how often and how long you soak. My goal, creating and maintaining. So now I'm on maintenance. I'm not creating, I'm on maintenance. I don't soak as often as I did when I had to create. I don't know about you, but there's some stress out there in the world. And I am really having to be careful with my social media because personally, I am not hardwired to handle the level of news that comes at us through social media. And so I am really having to utilize tools to keep my stress levels down. When your stress levels are higher, your magnesium burn rate goes up. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind that your magnesium burn rate goes up with perceived stress. And asking yourself, am I more stressed than 6 months ago, than a year ago, than last week, is also going to be a part of the determining factor of how often you soak in magnesium. If your goal is to get rid of the leg cramps, then you'll stop soaking when the leg cramps are gone. If your goal is when you're sleeping better, then you'll soak until your sleep gets better and then be done. My goal is creating and maintaining cell saturation. I expect a lot from my body. And so I want my foundation strong. I want my voltage to be powerful. When voltage is powerful, thyroid works better. When voltage is powerful, hormones work better. When voltage is powerful, sleep is more restorative. So, creating and maintaining magnesium cell saturation is my goal. So, let's talk about creating magnesium cell. Oh, you got your bath bomb box, Beth? Oh, do you love it? Do you love it? Did the gifts that were in that surprise you? Oh my gosh. Okay, you're the first person that has told me that they actually received their bath bombs. I am so over the moon. I hope you just felt all the love that got poured into the Bath Bomb Edit subscription box. If you're interested in the Bath Bomb Edit, Shelly, could you throw that link up? We had to shut down our production of bath bombs for supply chain issues and space issues at our warehouse because my number one goal and foundational product is magnesium soak. I love the bath bombs because they have been shown to help regulate your nervous system. When you have a magnesium boosted bath bomb, you don't have to soak as often because you're regulating your nervous system. And that's helping you to hold on to that magnesium. Beth, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for telling me that. That took an entire team to pull off, everybody pulling their weight and really focusing on that. So thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, so we're going to head back. If you do want the magnesium boosted bath bomb subscription box, Shelly's posted the link. I have just over 200, and once those are gone, those slots, they're gone. You can do a 3-month, a 6-month, or a 9-month. So let's go back to when we're creating magnesium cell saturation. When we're doing that, I created the Magnesium 30-day challenge. And the reason that I did is as I work with clients, I noticed those who spent a lot of time at the beginning soaking and saturating those cells were having more success at activating their vitamin D because we know that when we have proper amounts of magnesium in our body, that our stored vitamin D is activated through the magnesium into active vitamin D. And that's where our immune system starts. That is the opening gate for health in our body, is a strong active vitamin D profile. If you're low on vitamin D, then we know you're low on magnesium. And so that 30-day challenge is a way to really saturate why the cells with magnesium. Now, magnesium shines the light on what your body needs. And sometimes just soaking in magnesium is not enough. The number one thing that I see helping people that are external, we have internal things that we can do, like deep breathing. I like doing a brain dump and just getting just doing what I call a free write. If you've ever read The Artist Way, that's where I learned about that concept, not my concept, but one that I do frequently. Think of just creating white space in your brain and getting just not worrying about your handwriting, punctuation, spelling, how neat it is, but just getting everything out is such a powerful tool. I consider those internal things that we're doing. And there are also external things that you can do that will decrease your magnesium burn rate. And when you decrease your magnesium burn rate, you don't have to soak as often. Some people, though, after they do the magnesium 30-day challenge, are not where they want to be, or they're not experiencing the benefits. The number one external thing after checking hydration, because magnesium is hydrophilic and we need strong voltage to keep the magnesium in our cells and to stay hydrated so the magnesium can flow effortlessly through our body. The number one thing after hydration and after those internal tools like deep breathing and using different mindset tools to decrease our stress levels is taurine. Number one, if you are not feeling the benefits of magnesium, soaking in magnesium, and some people don't, and that comes down to vagal nerve tone. And those are the people who need it the most, but they get no feedback from the magnesium, and it's tough to follow through because you think, oh, I bought it, I'm soaking in it, I don't feel a difference. If your vagal nerve tone is very low from constant stress or from pain in your body, having to disconnect from that pain, if you're a migraine sufferer or have chronic pain, that can really change the way your vagal nerve reacts to stimulus. You're not going to be getting that feedback as quickly as other people do. The number one thing is taurine. Taurine is a simple amino acid that needs to be filtered through what is best for your body. You can do a quick search on taurine rich foods, or you can add it as a supplement. I typically do both. I don't do taurine all of the time, but I will assess, am I getting my benefits from magnesium? And if it's dropped, then the first thing I go to is taurine. We do want to make sure if we're taking it in pill form, that we're not taking more than what's good for our body because it can tank thyroid function. Now, when we're looking at understanding our magnesium burn rate, we don't want to tank thyroid function because the more sluggish your thyroid is, the more magnesium your body's needing to drop those inflammation levels. And to activate, remember, magnesium is the great activator in your body. We need T4 thyroid hormone, we need T3 thyroid hormone, but we need T4 converting to T3. And that's where magnesium fills that gap because it takes your T4 and it converts it to T3. And if that conversion has been not happening well for a very long time, you're one of those people that it probably is going to take you longer to feel the benefits from soaking in magnesium. But we need that magnesium to activate thyroid function, to take our T4, which is the long term thyroid, and activate it into active T3 thyroid, because that's what really gives us that energy and that boost. And so, going into your 30-day challenge, understanding these different things that will affect how much your body will need is foundational. I, for me, one of the simplest ways to understand my magnesium burn rate is after that 30-day challenge to have my blood results tested because that's going to tell me how effective that magnesium was. And if I have a crack in my foundation, for example, if I soak in magnesium and I do the 30-day challenge, not perfectly, but enough that, 70, 80% of that challenge I soaked, and I'm not even at a 5, we need to stop and evaluate where is the crack in my body that I'm not uptaking that magnesium. Now, if your results come in higher than a 5, that's excellent. We need to continue on moving. I personally would look at taurine if you're between 5 and 6, because that simple amino acid is going to help you hold magnesium in the cell. I would also look at voltage. If you come in at a 6.3 after that 30-day challenge, back off. You don't have to soak as often. You're there. You do not have to soak as often, and soaking every single day or 4 times a week is probably going to be overkill. Now, if you really want that data, I love data. If you really want that data, you'll determine after the 30-day challenge, you'll get your blood work done. And let's say you're at a 5.5, then I'm going to soak about 3 times a week. And then after 30 days of doing that, I'm going to retake my blood and I'm going to compare and contrast after the 30-day challenge and then 30 days after the 30-day challenge. So, for example, if I came in at a 5.5 and I soaked 3 times a week on the second 30 days and my numbers went up, then I know 3 days a week is a good fit for me and it's moving my numbers toward cell saturation. Or if I did that second 30 days at 3 times a week and my numbers dropped, that magnesium soaking just 3 times a week after the 30-day challenge was not enough magnesium to continue moving my numbers. And at that point, I again want to look at taurine intake and want to look at how B vitamins, because especially B12 really supports holding on to that magnesium. And so we're wanting to look at cracks in that foundation. And if your goal, like mine, is magnesium cell saturation, then that second 30 days is going to tell you, is that holding my magnesium levels? Did my magnesium levels drop when I soaked 5 days a week? Did my magnesium levels stay the same or did my magnesium levels go up? And then at that point, you're going to be able to make decisions exactly if you need movement or if you're in maintenance, then keep it at that same level to help you just maintain the numbers that you're at. Or do I need to soak more often to achieve that cell saturation before I'm in maintenance mode? Understanding and doing and I know it can feel overwhelming and you don't have to do these tests. I wanted the data and the feedback. In the beginning, I didn't know about these tests. And so I didn't have them done. I just went by how my body was responding. And that might be a good fit for you. Like, Kristen, I do not have the bandwidth to go get tested twice. Then don't go by how your body is responding. When people do the 2 blood work tests, 30 days after they start the 30-day challenge, and then 30 days after they've gotten their feedback and they've determined how often they're going to soak to either maintain, increase, or stay in that same place. Doing that second test is going to help you understand your magnesium burn rate in a way that nothing else will. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not. Make it work for you. Make it work for you. Understanding your magnesium burn rate in the long run is going to help save on that magnesium levels. Leah, that is a great question. Leah's question was, how much does it cost to get the blood work done? And I'm going to add a couple of words to Leah's question for the magnesium red blood cell, because your serum test won't give you this feedback. Your blood cell, magnesium red blood cell test will. And it's about $50. Now, I've not seen many doctors that run that blood test. And so Shelly has put the link in the comments to the place where I have found it to be the most beneficial and the most realistic. I'll never forget there for a while, every single person that I was working with, and I was doing big group classes at that time, everyone was coming back with the exact same magnesium number from a specific lab. That didn't sit right with me. I've always seen such variance in people's numbers when they share them with me. And to have for 6 months the same lab giving the exact same number every single time, nope, now that something's not connecting there. And so that's why I use this specific lab, because I've never seen that happen. There's that variance because your magnesium levels are going to be different from my magnesium levels, even if we've just finished the 30-day challenge. Remember, magnesium shines the light on what your body needs. And that's what these Monday and Wednesday lives are all about, is helping you understand how can I be more effective in soaking in magnesium, which to me means soaking less often and getting more benefit. Adding taurine, adding B12, understanding your magnesium burn rate is going to help you in the long run over the course of your soaking experience. It's going to help you use less magnesium. I can't tell you how many people have been soaking every day because they enjoy the experience, but their blood work comes back that they're 6.7. They don't need to be soaking every day because they're holding that magnesium level strong. Or how many people are soaking once a week but they're at 5 and they wonder why they're not getting the benefits from magnesium. Knowing your magnesium red blood cell number, if appropriate for you right now, is going to give you feedback, and magnesium will shine the light on where your body's at. And you can go two pathways, and neither one is wrong. You can go the pathway of taking your blood work and getting some data, or you can go the pathway of, am I sleeping better? Did my leg cramps go away? Do my muscles feel more fluid, less tightness in my shoulders or my back, or wherever it is that you're judging? Whichever pathway, healthy women make strong decisions. If you choose not to get your blood work tested, hold that decision strongly. Don't agonize. When we agonize, our magnesium burn rate goes through the roof. It was delightful being with you today. I'll be back on Wednesday and we'll be doing a deep dive on a specific magnesium topic. Magnesium and thyroid is coming up on Wednesday. And so on Wednesdays, we dive a little bit deeper. On Mondays, we stay in more generals. And so I would love to know, what was the most beneficial today for you learning about interstitial space, blood work, tools that help you hold on to magnesium, hydration? What was the most helpful for you? What was your powerful takeaway in that process? And until then, I will see you on Wednesday. Have a great day.